working on the assembly line, what we're really doing is putting in hundreds of hours into the people on the streets who need us. And they need us in a way that none of us will ever understand. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the grounds every day. They know we're coming today, they know we're coming tomorrow, and they look forward to seeing us because we're the one little bit of hope that they have a warm meal in their bellies and to know that somebody in the world is actually caring for them and loving them. And without people like you showing up today to give your time, your energy, and your spirit, none of this is possible. So I want to really say thank you to everyone, because what we're doing here today may seem small, but it's actually really, really big, and it's impacting hundreds and thousands of families. So I thank you, I love you, I look forward to doing this with you today. My name is Serena Buffalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is a charity that is focused on unconditional giving, love, and support to some of the most vulnerable communities in the world.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning, Ms. Barbara J. Beckley?
Wonderful, fabulous. It's a Wednesday. I remember now. I said Wednesday, not Tuesday.
Wednesday, yes. Okay, now is your picture distorted? There you are. I don't know what that was.
Oh, I thought I was okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looked like you had a bubble around you, but you know.
I know you're kind of.
No, it's gone. It's gone now. But
okay,
you know, we love technology.
It was a halo.
It was a halo. Exactly. So how has the week been?
I'll take the halo.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it is Wednesday. If people are just chiming in, you are at the Time to Shine Happiness Show with yours truly, the BBs.
Yes. And we're excited.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself first, and then I'll do me.
Okay. I'm Barbara Ellison, founder of Wellness Playroom for the best version of you. And one of the things that I'm just so excited about right now is that, I do a variety of things. I mean, we do this show, we're co-hosts, but right now I am just really excited because I think a couple of weeks ago I shared that a friend of mine and I, we're going to do a workshop and we're going to do a course, which I'm going to tell you about. But I have to tell you, I'm so excited about something that I'm going to tell you about. But introduce yourself first, because if once I get on a roll, I don't think I'll stop because I'm excited. So that's me. I'm excited about what I do. And isn't that the best thing in life, to be excited about what you do? Wake up and feel excited about what you're doing.
But Barbara, you didn't tell us what you do. You're just so excited about it.
I'm excited about it. I'm going to tell you, but you have to introduce. Otherwise, you have to introduce yourself.
So so basically you just put it back on me. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. Put it back on you.
Well, my name is Barbara J. Beckley, as everybody knows. I'm one of the BBs of the show.
Right.
One thing I love to do is really dig deep in people when it talks about their purpose. I mean, we hear that all the time. I know that's a word out there everywhere about what's my purpose, what's my purpose. But it's important. It's really important to really, really understand. And then what I do after that is give you visibility, because once you know, you need to be out there. And as me and Barbara, we're always doing it. We're on different shows. We have different podcasts. I help people even create their own brand of show under the network that I have. So that's a mission in mind, because I want to make sure that the voiceless has a voice. And because I didn't have a voice for a long time, and I want to make sure that everybody else has their purpose out there, has their voice, and just doing their thing, because it's important. You are important to the world to have that voice. So that's what I do. That's what I do. And Barbara, we're going to go back to you. You're not getting out of this. So we're flipping back to you.
Sometimes you just are going along, you're going along, and all of a sudden you realize that, oh, yike, this is coming together. So I told you a few weeks ago that a friend of mine, Regina, who we're going to be doing we're going to do a workshop, and then we want to create a course, because she's a business coach and I am like a personal development coach, trainer kind of thing. Well, business, you have to combine those two things. They're two sides of the same coin, business development.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people try to separate them all the time. Well, we want to create something where it combines them, because if you don't have the personal development side to know who you are within what you do, your business is your own. That's only the physical side of your business. It's not the emotion, the non-financial stuff part of your business. Because that's where your relationships come in, and your work-life balance and all of those things.
Oh, yeah.
So for the last few weeks, we have been hunting around for a platform, because there are so many platforms out there. I mean, there's Teachable, there's Audible, there's ThriveCart, there's plus affiliate things, and all sorts of things. Well, Monday, I had a meeting with a friend of mine who is in my branding class with me, and he said, well, have you ever heard of The Great Discovery? And I went, no, what is it? He said, well, it's an e-learning platform that is taking the world by storm. And I went, okay. He said, I'm going to send you a link, take a look at it. And I went, oh, okay, fine. Well, then, not even an hour later, I did one of my LinkedIn Lives. We did the great LinkedIn Live, and then afterwards, when we were doing the debrief, two of the women on there said, have you heard of The Great Discovery? I'm like, okay. I just now heard about it like less than an hour ago. So she said, well, one of the girls said, well, we've got a coming up tomorrow morning. Come and listen. Fine.
Wow.
So went on the next morning, come to listen about it. And I was like blown away of what this platform is going to be able to do for people who are creating courses, or who want to to be an affiliate for other people's courses. Because, and I'll tell you why in a second, but it just kind of blew me away. Well, then, so I said, okay, fine, I'm going to really look at this. Then I went out for lunch with another friend of mine, who is my tech girl that I work. She's helping me make my funnels. And I said to her, I said, have you ever heard of The Great Discovery? She said, oh yeah, I'm part of it.
Oh, wow.
I went, okay.
Come into yeah.
This is all within like 24, 48 hours. So then last night I said, they were having another call last night. I said, let me listen again. I don't, because shiny, me, I suffer sometimes with shiny object syndrome. Who knew? Would you ever guess that of me? Anyway.
No.
So I said, well, okay, let me look. And I said, Regina, you come on and listen to it too. Well, she came off and said, this sounds great. I said, okay, fine. Well, guess what? On the show, on that platform, on that informational call, there was two other women that I knew from another group that I'm in. I went, okay, God, you're just trying to tell me something. This is what I need to be doing. Anyway, so it's called The Great Discovery. I've now signed up for it because one of the biggest things they were talking about, like those of us that want to create courses, but English is only like 17% of the population of English speaking. So what do you do with all the other people that speak other languages?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? On this new platform, you can translate your course into other languages, and it does it for you. I was like, oh my stars.
As you're talking about this, it's really, now this is really going to be wild because I'm trying to look it up now as you're talking, because I talked to another lady just 3 days ago. And she said, Barbara, I've been trying to call you, and because I have this platform that you need to know about, and it helps you, like if you're a content creator or if you're trying to put your information up there, and it will, if you want it in different languages, it will change it for you. So I think I don't know the name, but I got a funny feeling that it's great discovery, because you're saying the same thing she was telling me about that I need to sign up for, because she said it is amazing.
Right.
And so I need to see what that name is, because now I'm curious.
Yeah, so for me, I've signed up for it now. So for me, it's the greatdiscovery.com/Barbara. Just check it out.
So it's your own.
That's my own site. Okay. The thing is, it has just exploded in my brain that we could, because they allow you to put up things that you've streamed. So we could this show gets streamed out on YouTube. We could put it up onto their platform, and other people in other countries would be able to listen to our show.
Okay. So it's even so now that we have, because we're under the E360 TV platform,
under E360
because
TV.
they're around too. Then we have it on YouTube. Then we can get on yours. Now we get on Great Discovery.
And now we can get on the Great Discovery. And it has just been like, whoa, eye-opening. But to have so many people all in 48 hours, and now you're telling me that you're hearing the same thing. It's like, this is, yeah.
Well, I got to say one thing. I know this is going to sound, whoever their marketing person, I would love to hire them, because within 48 hours, they got all of us.
All of us.
In 48 hours. Now, come on now, Barbara. That is like divine,
it's right. I truly believe that it is divine intervention. That all of it. The thing is, like you know me, I like to do research about things. Sometimes they're little things, and so, like when we did the show about where do old sayings come from. Like total line. I love doing things like that. That was fun.
We gotta do that, yeah.
Anyways, so one of the things that I've been researching is the effect of the shutdown. Like, I won't give it a name. I will not call it a name. It's a shutdown. That's it. Anyways, 89 million jobs were lost during that time. Guess how many were created?
Probably more.
93 million jobs were created. And this is where the Great Discovery comes from, because so many of them are course creators, are coaches, are podcast hosts. Like one of the girls that she teaches people how to start a podcast. That's her course, because she's a podcaster. I'm going to have her on. She's going to come on this show, by the way. Her name is Bree. And so she's going to come on this show because that's what she does. And that's what we do. It's all about getting yourself out there, because people cannot know who you are if you don't tell them.
That's what I told you, that's my mission, is that visibility is important.
Visibility is what we do.
And just to let you know, because I had to look it up, because I'm like, this is just sound too much like what you're talking about. And I was right. It is. It's called, she sent me a link. The Great Discovery.
And
My
the
God.
thing is, but it did cause a slight conundrum for me, because Barry introduced me to it. All he did was send me a link. These two women invited me to the call. So I said to them on the call, I said, you know what, this is what happened. And this other man came on, his name was James. And he said, you know, we're all a team.
Mm-hmm.
And so just, it's up to you to decide who you're going to sign up under. Well, guess what? We're all on the same team.
Yeah.
It just blew me away that all of us were on this team call last night, and all of us were on it.
Yeah.
So we are all part of the same team.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love, is being part of a team that is for the good, working for the good of all.
Yep.
And
Yes.
it just, so this just has absolutely started my week off on absolutely the perfect note, that I've got all these things of, it's going to help me market. It's going to help us get our course creation out there. It's going to help us get this show out to the world. Can't wait to see what
More
else.
out to the world.
More out to the
Just
world.
gonna
Exactly.
emphasize it. More out to the world.
More out to the world.
Yes. Yes.
Can you imagine if we had people in Japan and
Yeah.
that are because, and then they promote for you. So anyway, so enough, I don't, and you know me, I very seldom promote a product. I think I can count the number of times that I do. But when it's like, because this is just goes in line with what our mission is to get people visible, get people out there.
And it's like I said, it's so powerful that you were talking to people regarding this whole course creation and platform. And then, like I said, when you were talking about it, I said, this sounds familiar. And when I looked at it right now, I'm like, she was telling me her name is Renee, and she's a leader. I mean, she's a team thing, like you said,
right?
Thing.
Well,
And she was telling me about it and how I need to, sign up for it. I think there was a special that ended April 30th or something like that. And she was just like, she was just like how you were, just like excited about it.
Excited about it.
It's a whole new level when it comes to course creation and reaching people and making sure that everybody, all different nationalities, understand what you're trying to get out there. Yeah.
Because people want to learn. They want to learn how to better their lives. Mm-hmm. Well, if we don't teach them, how are they going to learn?
Yeah.
And that's one of my things. Like back when I was looking for my purpose, I was thinking my purpose was something that was so far out there that, it had to be this big, humongous thing. And then once I realized that my purpose is three things, and the power of three things: to serve God, mm-hmm. to learn myself, but then teach others what I've learned. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that simple to teach others what we have learned to better our lives. Like for me, it started with learning who I was. I realized after David died that I had spent the first 60 some odd years of my life in living by somebody else's rules. I didn't know who I was outside of all the labels that I had put on myself. And that's why I work now with late career professionals that are baby boomers and Gen Xers they've got retirement staring them in the face, maybe not next year, but 5 years from now or even 10 years from now. And it's like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Or they don't want to have to wait to retire. They want to do something else now. And so that's why I love when I can talk to people that are still working, but let's carve out some time to do something new for you.
Yes.
So that you can have that absolute thriving lifestyle and have it now. You don't have to wait to retire. Have it now, because we can have it all.
Yeah. Yeah. It might look a little different when you retire, but still it's the same thing, same purpose. And is this, and then we're going to bring in our wonderful queen, our guest today, is that, I always tell people, you were put here for a reason.
Right.
You're here put for a reason. There's no accident that you're here, especially at the timing that you're here. See, I tell a lot of people that too. I said some people were born back in the 1900s. That was their purpose at that time. You were born in 2020. In this era. This is on purpose. Live it out. Live it out. And when you learn what you learn from yourself, like you say, you got to learn yourself first, like you did, Barbara, and I did too, and other people.
Yeah.
Then it's time to go out even further and give it to the world, because people are waiting on us. So that's why I get on my case. I get on myself all the time, because if I feel like I'm not doing what I need to do, I said, who am I holding up to help somebody else, because I'm holding myself up. So I said, nope, I can't afford that. And see, that's why I love what you do too, Barbara, because every day you are learning and getting things and really just, moving that needle in your life. And that's what we all should be doing, because that gives us more, like you said, skills, intuitive and everything, so we can teach others. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it builds your purpose.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's not to say I don't have, Sunday, I totally vegged.
And then we have these days. You got to have the rest.
You got to have those. The thing is, though, on those days that you have those days, have them guilt-free.
Yes.
They are guilt-free days.
Yeah.
Because we get so caught up in berating ourselves for all the things that we're not doing, that we forget to celebrate the things that we are doing.
Yes, we gotta give those victories.
So let's take in our victories and fess up to, hey, I had a veg day and I loved it. It was great. I watched movies.
That's part of So now
part of it was research.
Now let's get to our queen, because I know you met her, and I want you to do a quick introduction.
Met her on Meet a Guest.
Meet a Guest.
And you know what? When you first talk to people and your kindred spirits. Kemir is a life coach. She has a nonprofit to support women to have healthy habits that support their life, so that they don't get stuck in their life, and which is part of what we all do. But she does it with a nonprofit and just whole bunches of things that it's like she has all these letters of the things that she does because she's a tech person. Oh, brother, huh? Yeah, no clue. Don't have to. She knows. That's the thing. We do not have to know everything. We just find somebody that knows what we don't know.
Yeah.
And don't want to know. I don't want to know some of the tech stuff. It's like, okay. Yeah. I know how to come on to Wave. I let you do the back of that.
What you said. Sometimes you want to know about it, but you have to know the detail. And other people
I don't have to know all the down to the nitty gritty details. I have to know how to click a button and come on.
Well, with that, I know we're going to bring this wonderful queen. Wonderful queen on. She's going to be talking to us about getting unstuck, creating healthy habits to reach our goals. And I'm excited to hear it. But we had to hear from our sponsor first, and we'll be right back.
Frustrated concerning your career advancement in athletic administration. Do you feel your leadership is invisible or not your desired level? Knowing the right networks can help move you to the next level. Monique A.J. Smith is here to assist you, empower you to your next level. We help leaders see their desired objectives through executive one-on-one coaching, group monthly mastermind virtual gatherings and training, in-person staff development training. Seeds of Empowered has provided staff retreats and workshops. See the future with possibilities and feel in control of your career and become a valued contributor to your leadership career. We'll get you to your career leadership advancement. Increase your possibilities. Contact Monique A.J. Smith today.
Woohoo! We got the queen.
Hi, Kemir.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Kemir. Pretty name.
Very unique name. I've been called many things my lifetime.
Oh, boy. Is it Kemir? I hope I said it right.
Yeah, it's Kemir. Thank you for asking.
Yes. That's one thing I hate to do is people say people's name incorrectly. I always hit myself when I do that. So welcome, Queen. I always call Lady Queen, so you're going to hear me say that a lot throughout.
Well, I appreciate it. My insides are quite excited. I was like, you call me Queen all day.
You got that crown all day, all the time. Not just all day, but all the time. All the time. Mm-hmm. But we want to hear a little before we get into the topic, because I'm really anxious to hear about this from you. Can you just give us a little backstory on how you got to be so brilliant as what you do now in your career?
I love the positive affirmations and just even your conversation earlier, just listening to you guys go back and forth and seeing how you encourage each other is quite exciting. And for me, I do the same thing through my nonprofit in terms of encouragement. I grew up in a situation where my childhood wasn't necessarily the best. And as I grew into adulthood, I didn't actually have the tools to address those issues. And so what happened naturally was that my body kind of caved in because it wasn't meant to carry all those burdens and all that stress and that anxiety. And so as I was going through my healing journey, which was just pulling back layers and exposing who I am and getting back to a place of becoming the woman that God had created me, like as I got through that journey, I was like, I think other people need to know this. Let me pour into someone else and give them this opportunity to maybe not take as long as I did and to be able to give that information a little bit sooner in their journey so that they can have the life that they want and the life that they're excited to enjoy instead of being bombarded by emotional burdens and being bombarded by just who we are in our state when we're not willing to again expose those things that we've kind of buried in our bodies in our system, and thus birthed the nonprofit J Intelligence Networks. It's a long name, long, but for short we go by J Intel. And we're just here providing faith-based educational programs for women, people like who just ready to take that next part of that journey to be able to unravel those emotional wounds and just get back to those authentic selves.
I love it. I love it. And I love how you, because I was also reading when you help, with the seniors too. And that really, that's needed. That's really needed because a lot of times we always feel like there's a certain number. And then after it's like, because Barbara deals with the seniors a lot, and just say after this number, it's like, okay, well, we're just here. We're just floating around until we gain our wings. And I'm like,
Right.
no, you have so much more powerful in you. So I'm glad that there's nonprofit organizations like yourself to either help the seniors in that capacity.
For sure. And as I continue to do this work, it really does hit my heart even more when I see a demographic who's overlooked or only looked at as something to take advantage of. And I think that's something that really hits home as well. And just being with my mother and just having like, man, I want my mom to be treated well. I want her to feel special and loved. And then just having that relationship open up my eyes to see a demographic who's just usually overlooked and having the opportunity to say, you know what, we have some things to inspire you, to encourage you, and to allow you to be seen. You're worthy to be seen.
Yes. Ooh, that's powerful. That's like a mic drop. Everybody's worthy to be seen. Barbara, did you want to say?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the basic human needs is to be seen, to be heard, and to be understood. And I think so much of that, like I loved Kemir when you said that, that it's overlooked. They're either overlooked or thought of as a burden. No, all of our learning as a more seasoned adult is valuable. And that's where I love these shows, which is part of why we do this show, is to let people know that if you have thought something, if you have survived something, then you have to tell other people that you did it so that they can know that they're not alone, especially if they're just starting in it. And that is the key to for me anyways, for doing anything that we do. Because it's the ripple effect. We can't do life on our own.
Yeah.
We need to get ourselves out there and help the people around us. I mean, I think who is the poet that said no man is an island? And we say it, but I'll have to look up to who originally said that. But it's absolutely the truth. And that's what I love that Kemir is just really, taking to heart to doing it also. And that's why we love having people on the show that can you see why we had like-minded and said, oh, you need to be on our show.
Well, Queen Kemir, I know one thing. That's why I love hearing people's backstories. because I always say we don't go through things just because in our lives. We don't go through those low valleys in our life just because they're low valleys and we feel like we have to have that hurt, like, oh my God, this happened to me, da 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 da. But you know what? There's always a reason for it. First of all, it gets you stronger. It gains more ability for you to say, I can understand now, so I can help other people and give them hope. So they see that little light, the little light at the end of that tunnel. It might be dim for a lot of people, but if we come through there and say, look, you see me, I was going through holy whatever, but I'm here. I'm still here. And you can do the same. So I have to commend you for that, for going through, what you went through and saying, okay, I'm not going to just lay back. You decided and made a choice. Like me and Barbara always says, you made that choice to say, no, I'm not going to just let this get me. I'm going to get in and I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to show other people that they can move forward too.
For sure. And in that, given the opportunity because when I look back on what I do now, I kind of laugh because I would never think, oh, Kemir, one day you're going to have a nonprofit and you're going to tell everybody your business. Yeah. How about that?
No, it's like,
and as you tell them, you're going to have more obstacles to go through, but you're going to keep telling your business. Mm-hmm. And so those are the moments where God has a sense of humor and being able to, I think, see the good in the things that you go through, as you talked about before, being that beacon of light. And it doesn't have to be obstacles to the point where you remain crushed, but there is hope in not only to overcome it, but to pull someone along the side of you as you do it.
I like Quinn, what you said, like, one day, like I was thinking, like you said, I was thinking the same thing, like one day I'm just going to tell everybody, everything about me. I'm just going to have all this business going on. It's like, no, that wasn't in the making.
Yes, exactly.
I wasn't really doing that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I look back on some of the things that I have shared on this show. Never would I have thought that I would share that. Yeah. I can't believe that I just said that on really much an international show. But you know what? People need to hear it because people around the world are facing some of the same things.
Yeah. And not only that, when you say it, you have a sense of freedom. Like those items no longer haunt you. They're no longer taunting you. Words. Yeah. And keeping you in this place of shame and guilt. It's like when you're able to vocalize those issues and have that vulnerability, that freedom that you receive is amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Really, just some things that it's just, I look back now and go, gee, I admitted that. Oh, and then it's once you admit it, it loses its power over you.
Oh, yeah.
Because like one of my favorite things is that, if you mess up, and we all mess up, mess up. Okay, fine. We all do it. But then fess up and take the heat, but then go on.
Yeah.
And I think that is when you can fess up, take the heat, the little bit of heat or a lot of heat. I mean, some famous people have done some famous stuff that, wouldn't want to be them. Absolutely. However, we all have our mess ups, and we all can fess up. Maybe not to a degree that other people have done it more publicly. However, we still have to face it. And now let's go on.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself and go on.
Yeah. So I think that goes right into, getting unstuck and creating healthy habits. And I know that our queen has some good nuggets for us today. So I was going to let her take it on that.
Yeah, perfect.
Sure. And again, since we're talking about being transparent, a lot of things that I'll share today came about from my journey and learning how to get unstuck and recognizing that awareness is the first step. Like there's things that you have goals that you want to achieve and you take your time and you write them down. This is what I would like to move forward in. And then of course, life happens and life gets in the way and then those goals get muddled. And then it becomes, well, how do I get back to that place of purity, that place of drive, that willingness to learn and grow and to continue to pursue this goal when it seems so far out of reach? And one of the things that I've learned, because in the programs that I do, I talk a lot about our brain health, our mental health, our emotional health. And a lot of times in our brain health, we have to help it along by giving it new vocabulary, giving it new experiences, giving it the experiences that you want to embrace. And sometimes when you just think about a goal and not put in practice new habits, new ways of going about what you're doing, then you're going to fall back to what you did before, which is not achieve that goal. And so one of the things that I've learned in this past year, actually, because 2024 has started off with a bang, is yes, have that self-awareness, have those objectives, but then go into the mindset of visualizing what does it look like to achieve it. And not only visualizing, but going in detail. And this is the most important part, is having detail of what does that look like day to day. For instance, your goal may be, I want to wake up earlier so that I can start my day. Well, what does waking up earlier mean? Does that mean, yes, I have to go to bed earlier? I have to set up in terms of preparing myself for getting up earlier, and then preparing mentally, what am I going to do once I get up? And so you're already connecting with how you're going to move forward, and you're already connecting with allowing your brain to take on new experiences and to own those experiences. And so a good thing to do is practicing is, after you write your goals, is to sit down and spend time taking one goal and visualizing, what does that look like? What do I have to do every day to get to my objective? And then once you do that, get other people involved and say, okay, this is the plan that I'm going for. And I'm only telling you so you can hold me accountable, ask me questions, see how it's progressing. And those days where life is so much more challenging than I expected, I need a friend. I will need some support to say, girl, you got this. Tomorrow you got a new day. What is it going to look like tomorrow for you to get back up and start your goals over again, to create those healthy habits? And again, I said before, this year has been the year of just learning that I have to be very specific. I think we've all heard the whole SMART goals, and within those SMART goals, one of the things that it's doing is getting it so specific that you can measure your progress, that you're putting in those objectives so that you know how to live it out. And my thing is, with that SMART goal, the most important aspect of it is the visualization, is taking that time. And even in the context of that visualization, that meditation of, okay, what am I introducing into my being? What am I learning? What am I grabbing hold of? And how am I going to move forward with this new information? And this year, as I said before, as I've been going through this journey and learning how to be more effective, one of the other things that I've learned is, and that's why I say you have to have your friend, but even if your friend is not available, how to speak grace and affirmations into your own being.
Right.
Because there are going to be times where it's just not going to work. And I was watching this television show, and one of the things that this person was dealing with was that she was her enemy. She would say all these negative things about herself. And of course, through the process of that negativity, she didn't accomplish her goal for that day. They ended up being left out, and she ended up crying the majority of the time because, unfortunately, she didn't have the tools to speak goodness into her spirit. And that is so needed and so within our spirits, because again, we have all these other obstacles trying to tell us what we cannot achieve. And so again, simplify this whole, how do I get unstuck? Take the time, do your SMART goals, write them down, but then visualize, meditate, and come up with specific things that you can do to have a different walk of life. And it has to be repetitive, rinse and repeat. Just because you thought about it that one day doesn't mean that by the end of the week or by next month, it's just going to be there. It has to be something where you are committed to, and realizing that that commitment is going to continue to give you the progression that you're looking for. Again, simplifying within that, having your support team, having those affirmations, giving yourself grace. And one of the things that I encourage in terms of the visualization is connect all of your senses to what you want to achieve. What does it smell like? Well, what does it sound like? What does it feel like in your body when you're able to have that sense of achievement? Like, connect to all those essence so that you're retraining your brain to hold on to a new experience versus who you were in the past. And so when you tell your brain, oh, these are the good things I want you to hold on to, when those moments come when you're starting to feel defeated, their brain will start to work on your behalf, and it will help auto correct you. Like, we do it all the time in texting, which usually we can't stand, because sometimes like, that's not what I meant. But in this context, allowing your brain to say, oh, but you do want this new lifestyle, and I'm going to adjust with you because you've been retraining me to see these new opportunities, this new value that you're pursuing. And so, go ahead.
And just being open. I love that, Kemir. That's absolutely right on. And just being open to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be open to what the universe is sharing with you.
Very much so.
And one of the 4 words that I hate the most is I already know that.
Yeah, I can't stand
it. Take those out of your vocabulary, because your brain doesn't know the difference between fact and what you're envisioning. I love that. And it's so true, because your brain doesn't know the difference between the reality and the visualization. But when you say, I already know that, your brain says, oh yeah, I already know that. And it stops.
Yeah. And just to piggyback on that, even the words which I use numerously, and I'm constantly challenging myself, which is always and never.
Right.
Those are trap words, because you're telling your brain that you will never achieve, or this will always be the case. And so you are not allowing yourself to look for new opportunities or look for new ways of doing things.
Yeah, awesome. You automatically set yourself down when you say those words. That's awesome. I'm glad you said that, because I was just thinking when you were talking about visualizing your day and what your goals and what you want to do. I know one thing that I have been doing a lot lately too is setting the boundaries so I can make sure that I'm doing those goals. And really asking the question why I need to say no to some things. And you said no is that one sentence. You know, I always say no is a sentence.
Yes.
Complete sentence.
And it's a complete sentence. And I say to I ask the questions. Before, I used to feel a little guilty because, I want to, we all want to help people. We want to be there for them. We want to help with pride, whatever they're doing or what have you. But then I had to ask myself, I had to be selfish and say, how is this going to take me to the level of my goals? And what am I trying to do? Is it just something that I just want to do because, I'm being a friend at that time? Or is it really something that's going to get me to where I need to go? Especially if it's a long, drawn out commitment. I need to make sure I'm taking the right choice at that time. And there's been a lot of times this last few months, I've been saying no a lot. And sometimes people be like, really? I mean, this is, I said, because, okay, I'm spending, because I put in my head, I said, okay, I'm going to spend 3 hours doing this, whatever you want me to do. Nothing's going to come really out of it a little bit for me. And I didn't tell them that, but I'm just thinking to myself because I had to be selfish because I've never been selfish like that. And selfish is a good thing sometimes because it has to help you grow. You need to kind of say some things and no. And I said, so no, I don't think I need to do this right now. And they're like, really? I can't believe this. And then they go into the whole thing. And I was like, no, a long time ago, I would have felt guilty and had to say, yeah, let me do it because I know you want me to do it. I know you need somebody, but you need to find somebody that's probably really going to get more out of it than I would right now. And that's how I put it. I said, I don't want to stop anybody's growth because I just threw myself in there because I thought, you need me. You can get somebody else that's probably needed more than I need it right now. So it's a growing, learning experience because it's been difficult sometimes. You don't want to, you feel like you might be letting down somebody and everything. But in a sense, sometimes you let yourself down if you take certain things on that really you shouldn't be taking on at that time.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you bring that up because I think for most women, because we do everything and we're in a circumstance where we're relied on, even if you don't have children, there's still a piece where, especially if they know that you're a go-getter and they know that you're a type of person that can get things done, well, you're going to be the first person they think of to get things done. And in that process, though, sometimes, as you already mentioned, we're taking on so much that we're not taking care of ourselves. And so I challenge the vocabulary selfish, but more so, what does self-care looks like? Like, what does it mean to have those healthy boundaries and still be productive? Like, having healthy boundaries doesn't mean that you stop living and you stop engaging with people, but healthy boundaries means that you're having the opportunity to take care of your well-being so that you can help other people. And that taking care of your well-being is not selfish. If people of faith, we see that in Jesus, he took care of his well-being. So many times he will go off to the mountains to pray, to connect with God, because he was taking care of his well-being because he had to get reset.
Yeah. Especially for the goal he had to make, that he had to do.
Exactly. And so many times we overlook that aspect because we see that he was involved and he was engaging with people, but he had to pause and connect and get recentered. And you didn't see the world stop when he did that. And you didn't see fire come down saying, no, I told you need to keep working. So keep working. And we don't have that example, but yet we take that on upon ourselves to be that way. But that wasn't the example that has been presented to us. And so that's part of the things that we do with my nonprofit as well, is putting into place those healthy habits, those self-care, and not being afraid to say, as Barbara stated already, having that day where I just need to veg and not feeling guilty about it.
That's part of it. Yeah. That's what I tell people. Wow. Well, we need to bring you back, Queen. I hate when the time.
I was thinking the same thing. This time has gone fast.
I know, because I wanted to talk some more with you, but that's okay. That's why we have, part 2. So with that, Queen, can you tell everybody how they can contact you?
Yes, you can reach me on our Facebook profile, on LinkedIn as J Intelligence Networks. And we actually have an incredible, as Barbara's talking about course, we have an incredible course coming up May 13th, where we just spend time working with another person in a group setting to heal from emotional wounds from relationships. And in that healing process, we take you through this journey to release those wounds and just to reconnect to your authentic self. That is coming up May 13. Go to our website, jintel.org. Look us up, sign up. We have space. And it's just a great opportunity just to continue that healing journey and put in those principles and those practices to be whole and well and okay with it.
Ooh-wee. So please, people, reach out. I always tell people, we give you these people that come to talk about what they do, not just to sit there, just to be like, hey, this is me, but we want you to reach out to them because they have so much more that they can give you. This is just a little taste of coming on the show, telling you what they do. So, Queen, you are amazing. I'm so glad you're my newfound friend through Barbara. And, we're here to help you in any kind of way. I always tell people, because me and Barbara have so many other platforms too, that you could be a guest on as well. So we appreciate you so much coming on Time to Shine show today.
Well, thank you. I had a great time. You guys are lovely. Love it.
Positivity in the house.
Positivity in the house. Absolutely. And I just want to add one other thing to what Kemir said about of just coming on and just getting in touch with the emotional wound. Never, ever, ever underestimate the size of your wound. You might think you have the smallest wound. It's the smallest wound ever. I'm not going to burden people with it. It's so small. Yeah, but it's not small to you. And other people, because they don't compare your wounds. And I think that's what happens so often, especially to women. Don't compare your wounds. If it hurts you, then it hurts you. And by the same thing, if it hurts you, it hurts the people around you.
Yes, definitely. So absolutely. Barbara, I need you to do your tagline before we move forward.
Absolutely. Let's make happiness, and this is where Kemir comes in too. Let's make happiness the norm rather than the exception. Because each and every one of us deserves to lead a happy, healthy, debt-free, abundant life. So let's all work together to have that ripple effect in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And with that said, we will see you next Wednesday, same time, same system with another guest. Thank you again, Queen, for coming on, and we'll see you next time. And keep that smile going because it goes a long way. Bye.
Bye.